My name is Mark Bernot, and in this video I want to talk about the Chinese yuan. The Chinese currency is as strong as it's going to be replacing and dethroning the dollar. And what does this mean for the geopolitical implications in Russia and Ukraine? I can tell you this right now. Adam Smith, 1776. It is not from the benevolence of the butcher, the brewer, the baker that we expect our dinner, but from regard to our own self-interest and their self-interest. You cannot defeat that. 1 million years of human evolution, it's ingrained in our hardware. I'm not going to be working for my neighbor's wife. The Chinese economy is a controlled economy. They treat people like cattle. The U.S. economy, the European economy, and the other free democracies around the world are like chess grandmasters. Nakamura, Magnus Carlsen, Garry Kasparov. They're 12 moves ahead of the average bloke on the street trying to play chess. Anna Kramling, even, from the women's side, or the Botez sisters. They're eons above in thinking. That is capitalism. Self-interest, enlightened self-interest. Adam Smith was a moral philosopher. And this conscious, ethical self-interest will always defeat a controlled economy. I can talk about monetary... I know, this is about the Chinese yuan. I can talk about monetary theory until you're blue in the face and your eyes are glazing over. In economics class, I used to put a pencil into my hand so I wouldn't fall asleep sometimes. But I'm not going to tell you about, again, Knut Wicksell and Ludwig von Mises and all the heroes of my youth, these monetary heroes and academic writers, and 100 others, Milton Friedman, Anna Schwartz. I'm going to tell you that the economy is always linked to the currency. If you have a strong economy, you have a strong currency, people want to accept it, they trust it in the fiat world we live in. Because we're no longer in the gold standard since really 1914, and remnants of whatever was left under the Bretton Woods standard was from the 1970s. In a fiat world, which we live in, it's always the underlying strength of the economy. Isn't that true? Same with the stock price. You can look at technicals till you're blue in the face, but if the company's making money and continues to, it will do well. What about China? China is an economy that is controlled. It's failing. It has real estate problems, leverage problems. No human being, no central control, no matter how clever they think they are, can manage an economy better than you and me in the marketplace. Adam Smith, 1776, I would advise that they look it up. Think again, my analogy of the grandmasters. A capitalist economy is like a freeway. I go to the beach 3 days out of 5 to go surfing. You know, you're going this way, you're going that way. I want to go to this store. And everybody's looking out for themselves. A controlled economy is, I used to take this bus sometimes. It was, I think, the Fenghua bus, or whatever it was called, from Chinatown in Boston to Chinatown in New York. Everybody's on this bus for 3.5 hours. No bathrooms. Everybody's crammed in there. And that is a controlled economy. Everybody's just crammed in China, working for the factory. How many neurons of the children have been pruned away? And you know that they use child labor. And you know that they do horrible things to the environment. You can just order a lead or some other thing. Any of the plastics or metal, a lot, it comes from China. You'll do a lead test. You'll see how much lead and cadmium and other things are in that. In America, we have this consciousness. Me, you want to know what I do? In addition to writing software and being an academic researcher in economics, I have a nursery, okay? I'm making these crazy cultivars of hot peppers, and it's taken me years to perfect this. I'm looking at the market, I'm looking at prices, and that is capitalism. My neighbor, she's a yoga instructor. That is capitalism. You're satiating needs of other people, and you're consciously thinking. And if something doesn't work, you close it and start something else. Under a controlled economy, it's very simple. Everybody goes to the factory and you're a feudal serf. There is no way the Chinese economy ever will defeat or become close to the European, the free market, democratic U.S., Canada, and open markets. It just can't. Milton Friedman used the example of a pencil. How many people does it take to make a pencil? About 1 million, he said. You can look that up, that metaphor. I'm not going to recant it here. Takes about 1 million people to make a pencil. Maybe 100,000, he said, but at least 1 million. The market is so complex. It's the collective unconsciousness of all human beings in our supercomputers, better than any AI or anything. It can never replicate 1 million years of evolution. And that is why the Chinese yuan is fake, is false. It will never be an international currency. It'll go the way of North Korea, Cuba, Venezuela. They're eating rats in the street in Venezuela, by the way. That's what my friends tell me. It'll go the way of the Russian ruble. These controlled economies cannot defeat free democracies, a free market, creative human endeavor, and the human spirit. Play the game Civilization by Sid Meier's. Any of the versions, 1 through 6, they're going to come out with 7. When you have free market democracies, they go eons beyond any controlled economy. Do you want to be treated as a human cattle? The Chinese people don't. That is a losing game, a losing currency. It is controlled by the central government, and it will always be defeated because the internal economy of China is collapsing, is getting more controlled. The more you control people, the more they slip through your fingers. So what do I think about the Chinese yuan and that dethroning the dollar? It's propaganda. It's misinformation. It's what they want you to say and want you to repeat, to think that the U.S. dollar... Sure, I don't care if the dollar's dethroned. I don't care if the euro... I don't care if they're not using Great British Pound or Swiss Franc or Canadian dollars. I use things as medium of exchange. But right now, I'm using dollars. The Chinese yuan is nothing. China will fade into obscurity as competitors and friendly competitors start rising around the world and want to do business with me and you. So the Chinese yuan, from a monetary expert, again, the ruble is not a currency and not money. Chinese yuan, maybe there's an argument for that. It is. But I wouldn't take China seriously at this point anymore. My name is Mark Biernaut. I'm a monetary economist. Have a great day. Thank you very much.